Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob and today we should be attempting to take this Playart, and I think it's a Mercury station wagon from shabby to shiny. And this one is, it's one of the Mark Cann cars. If you watched the Christmas Day unboxing, Mark, amazing, kind of sent so many great cars, and we've got quite a few that I'm going to be restoring or customising, up and coming, but this is kind of like next in the Mark Cann series, I guess you could say. But this one, you know, I think it very obvious in the unboxing that I really liked this one. And actually I have probably 6 or 7 of the Matchbox variant that this car is really a copy of, and all the windscreens are broken, but I had these little decals that I'm going to use today. But anyway, we shall drill down the centre of the posts, and there are 2 on this car. It actually turns out that the posts on this car are so tiny, I'm not actually able to kind of screw into today because they just blow out. But I did remove both the flanges, and I actually didn't attempt to tap them today. This is kind of UV glued back on the base. But you can see here that this was or is a police car, a Playart made in Hong Kong. Nothing further on the bottom there, but it is a metal base. And as you can see, I have drilled it, but I could see that I'd kind of blown out the side of both of these posts, knowing then that they are super skinny and will need gluing back today. But you know, made it so that it's quite tight, so that they do pop back on. And it was actually really nice to see that the wheels there just falling out. They will be replaced today. I think that the scale is a little off with the wheels. They look huge. I think if this was to scale, those will probably be 24-inch tyres. But yeah, the interior there, very basic, and the little steering wheel just popped out of its position. But this is kind of what has made me use this car, other than the Matchbox variants, is that the windscreen is in good condition. There is a tiny crack in the top here, but of course that's not visible on the car once it's packed together. And this is one of the beacons on the top. And I create a couple of replacements today for those. That's the other one, it's really broken up. But yeah, they just sit in position. When you put the window section piece, they just kind of hold it in place. So as simple as that. Just noticing where the steering wheel goes, so pop that back into position. And yeah, the suspension is kind of built into that interior. Before we go any further, just need to pop off the front and rear bumpers. My aim today was to really go for a restoration, but a kind of reimagining of what Playart could have done. So I don't think I've overdone it with any kind of additional real life details. I've kind of gone with the toy, what it could have been. And actually, before I go to the footlong, I wanted, because the paint wasn't that bad on this, especially on the bonnet and roof section, I thought I would key it up a little. This actually just polished the paint. But off camera I did use one of the flat discs, and that certainly helped me to kind of take off a little bit of paint, just to help it for the caustic soda solution, as you can probably just see there in the boiling water. So a tablespoon of caustic soda going in there, cleaning off my spoon as we go, and then giving it a little swishy swish. You can just about see the back end of the casting here and the base there. Some of the reaction, that paint starting to come away already, but whilst we leave it to do its thing, we'll clean off the interior and the window section here. I've actually just repainted my kitchen, and I used the paintbrush that I would kind of clean my interior, so I'm going with a toothbrush today. But the interior here, you know, it's as good as new, but of course it does need a lick of paint, especially with the colour choice that I've gone with today. The window section there come out okay, but it needs a buff up. And you'll see later on, but I bought some decals about a year ago now, maybe longer, 18 months ago, from model-supplies.co.uk, and I bought various different ones of cars that I had, and one was a Fire Chief decal set for the Matchbox Mercury variant, and like I said, I've got 6 or 7 of those castings, and every single one, the window section is busted out one way or another, so I just don't have it to kind of restore. And this car come in the unboxing, and I thought, why not, let's kind of use the Matchbox decal on this little Playart. Of course the Fire Chief car is red rather than white, but I think it does look really nice. But yeah, it's been probably 15 or 20 minutes. What I'll do is I'll pop in the bumpers here, and you could probably just see before your very eyes the chrome disappearing. And I'll very carefully rinse them off without trying to lose the bumpers down the sink, down the plug hole, which I have managed to do in the past. The rear one there, it wants to stay put, so I'll have to get that out later on. But you can see the front bumper here, all that chrome paint removed, and I'll re-chrome that later on. A little clean up as we go. And then we can inspect the base here. We don't have 100% paint removal today, but it's a good high 90s, probably 97.2 on the base there, but only about a 96.5 on the main body here. But we will take the Dremel, give a little buff up of the bonnet section here as an example before we do the rest off camera. There we are, and 10 or so minutes and we'll get this all buffed out, ready for the black primer. I am getting a little concerned of, you know, it's probably 80% full, this can will last me for another few weeks, but of course I've tried to grab replacements, and I'm not able to send anything outside of the UK or receive anything from outside the UK at the moment. I've just finally had a little bit of post just today, after 3 weeks of nothing. We had some Christmas cards, would you believe, which were sent over 3 weeks ago. Just come, they actually only come from down the road. But yeah, our local post office have been real hit bad with the, with the COVID, and sadly the longest member of staff there had passed recently with the disease. But I think they normally have around 150 members of staff there, and they've been down to around 15. So, as you can imagine, with 10% of your staffing, there's going to be a delay. So, of course, we can't complain. But yeah, started to come through again today. So, I've just got I've just got a lovely, a customs fine or something like that for. I've bought some monoblock wheels, which I've been really wanting to try. Danny has used them and recommended them to me. But yeah, I had to pay about £20 for customs just to receive them. So I'm hoping that they will coming shortly, and we can see and use those coming up. But anyway, back to the painting. We use 3 different blacks here. Of course, the black primer for the main casting, the pound shop for the interior, and then this lovely TS14, I think it is, courtesy of our friend Tony Bellini, for the base. Just a basic red for this casting. Like I say, this is a Fire Chief kind of recreation on a Playart. And this will be the first coat, and I'll go over with, I believe I went with 3 coats in the end, and I left it without any clear coat because it just seemed to be natural for this age of casting. Like I say, I wanted to try and attempt to put something together that could have been by Playart back in the 80s. But yeah, you may or may not be able to see, reading Fire Chief there, the model supplies decals that I've had for some time now. And I've re-chromed the front bumper there and the rear. The matte black or the satin black interior. That's I'm sure it's TS14 paint. The polished out, and this you can see that nice red colour, which I think is perfect, and these green light wheels, which they just seem to fit this casting. They were a good scale size. But yeah, the little beacons on the top are LEDs. And I've got this box. It only cost me a few pounds, and just an LED. And I snipped off the little metal parts here, and they were an absolute, just perfect fit. I couldn't have asked or imagined that they would be any better. But anyway, here's a little reminder of what she looked like. And this is the result. There's no frills with this one. I think Playart could have put this out just as I have kind of put together myself today. That nice black base with the chrome bumpers, just how it come original. But just a simple solid red, the blue beacons there on the top, and the Fire Chief decal on the sides and on the bonnet. The interior window section there, you can now actually see through it. See that black interior. I really like this one. This is one of my favourites. Of course, it could be yours with 2,000 likes. But anyway, let me thank my amazing patrons. Thanks, guys. And for everybody else that watched, please do subscribe, like, comment, all those good things, and I'll see you on a future video.